North Korea is like one giant film set, and throughout our week filming there I felt distinctly like Jim Carrey's character in the movie The Truman Show. This is a regime paranoid about how it's perceived by the outside world, and arguably even more worried about what its citizens think about the country's militant dictator, Kim Jong-un. This week on 60 Minutes, our job was to peek behind the facade and reveal the reality of life in the most secretive state in the world, a truth they don't want you to see. This is a nation all about chest beating, trying to portray itself as a world power, but as we traveled out of Pyongyang, it quickly became clear this is in many parts a third world country. When we first saw a tractor on farmland, I thought it was on fire as flames and smoke billowed from under the bonnet. But when we saw another, and then another, it became clear what was going on here. They only had wood-fired combustion machinery on their farms. Petrol is so scarce in North Korea, that even if they could access it, they probably couldn't afford it. The average North Korean earns just $4 a day, and their biggest issue is not whether their country will be at war tomorrow, but whether they'll have dinner on the table tonight. That's not to say that many in Pyongyang don't lead a privileged and plush lifestyle, and herein lies the hypocrisy of the socialist regime. I spotted several Mercedes S-Class limousines cruising the near-empty six-lane boulevards of the country's capital. That vehicle starts at around $100,000, meaning your average North Korean would have to work every day for 68 years to afford one. But ask a random local on the street about their government, and you won't hear a word of complaint. Imagine asking the average Australian about our government, they'd have a list as long as their arm detailing the problems with our politicians. It's hard to gauge how many genuinely believe what they say when their Lord Kim Jong-un is a flawless messiah who they'd happily give their life for, and how many simply say that because they know the alternative would be a bullet to the head. This is a country where you don't dare step out of line because such is the ruthlessness of the regime that if you do rock the boat, it's not just you that's punished. They have what they call the three-generation policy, where your parents and your children would be sent to the notorious gulags as well. Indoctrination in North Korea starts pretty much from birth, and by school age most kids are taught to love their supreme leader more than their own parents. For this week's report I spoke with some 7-year-old students, who told me, Americans are the enemy and they must be killed, and that they dream of fighting for the Korean army. The regimented lifestyle then runs through for the rest of their lives, with even the silliest rules rigidly enforced. We were repeatedly yelled at during our stay for walking on grass, which for bizarre unknown reasons is banned in North Korea. At times, peering out my hotel window, I felt like I was watching lemmings or robots go about their business on the streets below.